Hi, this is JD and I'm here with Joyce Talk. Today's video is about post-pandemic workplace and culture refresh. Trust you will enjoy being with me. Are you ready to go back to office? Ready to get out of your loungewear, pick up a proper coffee on your commute and see your colleagues face to face for the first time in over a year? Or you're happy to stay at home, getting up that bit later, making lunch in your own kitchen and picking your kids up from school. Wherever you stand on the subject, you can guarantee there will be differing opinions and a range of needs within your team. The post-pandemic work world remains in a flux. Even as normality isn't yet within our grasp, entering the second year of this crisis heralds a completely new dilemma. How do you ensure you don't have a fractured company culture? When some employees begin to come back into the office and others continue working from home. Many site-dependent employees own out from having their temperature taken and spending months working in face masks while socially distanced. Newly remote employees burned out from months of isolation and endless Zoom meetings. Some may even coming back to the office with trepidation as they navigate a new workplace that looks very different than the one they left. It's time for organizations to refresh workplace culture and get their people excited about working together again, to invite them to reunite and create a bright new future as we emerge from a season of workplace culture disruption. Whether you are bringing people back into the office, embracing remote work for the long term, helping on-site workers welcome friends back to the office, or doing a bit of all three. Organizations that thrived during the pandemic kept their employees connected to a meaningful purpose, accomplishment, and one another. Even with these efforts, connection is still what employees look forward to most about returning to the workplace. Employee recognition is the ultimate connector, and that is even more true during times of crisis. In fact, when employees were recognized during the pandemic, they are 103% more likely to fulfill supported by the organization and 47% less likely to be fearful about COVID in the workplace. Recognition shows how employees' individual work matters, how they uniquely contribute and help them feel they belong. The first step in maintaining company culture is creating a solid foundation. Whether employees work in an office or remotely, it's more imperative than ever that a focus on well-being remains the same. Firm boundaries between our work and home lives have a critical value. Deleting Slack app on weekends wards off employee burnout and promote a healthy and a more resilient culture. Many of the culture initiatives companies embraced before the pandemic, such as group picnic or cycling together across the Golden Gate Bridge, will have to stay on the back burner. But that doesn't mean we can't ensure people feel supported in other ways. Celebrate the returning of togetherness, give points to encourage vaccination, recognize safe practices, give recognition to establish goal and reinforce values, encourage appreciation to help teams reconnect, celebrate corporate milestones and success together. Culture doesn't come down to physical proximity or dynamic activities. It's more about developing an attitude of care. The strongest predictor of solid company culture has been in how we have treated one another. Are we humanizing communications and looking for small ways of personally connecting each other? Are we creating a community versus a business focused solely on metrics and productivity? Following the pandemic, the corporate culture faced casualty starting from the perks that the companies offered like free coffee, restrooms, gyms, to socialized meetings. The corporate world lost it all. The soaring unemployment hit women the hardest, as women were 1.8 times more likely to lose their jobs than men. The percentage of women in unpaid work was already high. During the pandemic, it has skyrocketed. The burden of demand for unpaid childcare, cooking, and cleaning fell on women more, becoming a barrier for socio-economic development. With women being employed in the corporate, the burden of housework fell on them, which led to a decrease in their overall productivity. Many working parents have been on the receiving end of being belittled or dismissed because of their status as parents. Too many working parents and other employees with extensive caregiving responsibilities have stories of a manager who gives them an assignment at 4 p.m. and asks for it the next morning, or a boss who makes disparaging comments about another working parent. Caring is about being sympathetic to our team's struggles and unique circumstances. There was a surge of new technologies loaded on those who work from home in the pandemic. However, for the rest, 60% who work in lowly paid jobs like transportation, retail, restaurants, run the risk of losing their income as the jobs disappear. This needs to be main concern in our economic recovery, equitable growth for all. During the pandemic, many companies have been goaded to innovate, including hosting virtual summits and curating team entertainment to create bonding activities. For example, video technology company one day came up with an idea called New Digs, an initiative where 4 employees are selected each month to work from an Airbnb. How we avoid a fractured company culture isn't so different from how we would have avoided it before the pandemic, by establishing trust and doing everything in our power to rise to the occasion. The pandemic accelerated existing trends in remote work, e-commerce, and automation, with up to 25% more workers than previously estimated, potentially needing to switch occupations. Jobs with highest physical proximity are likely to be most disrupted. COVID-19 has accelerated 3 broad trends that may reshape work after the pandemic recedes. Remote work and virtual meetings are likely to continue, albeit less intensely than at the pandemic's peak. COVID-19 may propel faster adoption of automation and AI, especially in work arenas with high physical proximity. The mix of occupations may shift with little job growth in low-wage occupations. Companies and policymakers can help facilitate workforce transitions. McKinsey, the consultancy firm, suggests that modifying the environment and workplace policies is an opportunity for organizations to break from the inertia of the past by dispensing with suboptimal old habits and systems. Hence, both business and policymakers should collaborate to support workers migrating between occupations. Under the Pact of Skills established in the European Union during the pandemic, companies and public authorities have dedicated Euro 7 billion to enhancing the skills of some 700,000 automotive workers, while in the United States, Mark and other large companies have put up more than $100 million to burnish the skill of African American workers without a college education and create jobs that they can fill. The reward of such efforts would be a more resilient, more talented, and better paid workforce, and a more robust and equitable society. That is all for today. Do subscribe, share, and be with me for my forthcoming bi-weekly videos. I will keep coming with knowledge-based, interesting videos. Please do not forget to put in your valuable thoughts and comments. Thank you and goodbye for now. See you in the next one.